top of the dresser. However, there was also a digital alarm clock on the dresser, so I could see it was 3 a.m. and I realized my friends were not the kind of people who would sneak into my room. About 20 years ago, my girlfriend, now my wife, and I rented a beach house in New Jersey with a group of friends. It was a really nice house and practically brand new, so not really the kind of place you would picture when you think about hauntings. Anyhow, we were there for a week and right away some strange happenings occurred. We would all go out to dinner or to play mini golf and come back to the house to find the stereo playing music and some of the cabinet door in the kitchen and bathrooms open. We checked the stereo to see if it had an alarm or timer set that would explain why it turned on by itself, but did not seem to have that feature. The cabinets, like the rest of the house, were all very new and had magnetic latches that engaged when the doors were closed. We were more worried that someone had broken in the house and was messing with us at that point than thinking about ghosts. 3 nights into the trip, I woke up at about 3. When I opened my eyes, I saw what appeared to be a woman with her back to me fiddling around with something on top of the dresser. I had recently purchased a Nintendo DS and had brought it on this trip with me to show my friends, and they had been playing with it off and on throughout our stay. At first I thought the woman I was seeing was one of my friends looking for the Nintendo DS since I had left it sitting on top of the dresser. However, there was also a digital alarm clock on the dresser, so I could see it was 3 a.m. and I realized my friends were not the kind of people who would sneak into my room in the middle of the night to play video games. Plus, this woman appeared to have very long straight hair, which no one staying in the house had. So again, my mind went to someone broke into the house. I was completely awake at this point and broke out into a sweat from fear/stress, but was still pretending to be asleep. My thinking was if I made it obvious that I was awake, the intruder might attack me. I was debating whether I should turn on the lamp next to my bed and hope the intruder flees on her own, or if I should maintain the element of surprise and try to tackle the intruder before they could turn around and shoot me, assuming they had a gun. After a few seconds, I decided to go with option #2 as the woman still had her back to me. I sprang into action and lunged toward the woman, but collided with the dresser. My girlfriend turned on the lights and said, "Bleep, are you doing?" There was no one in the room other than us two. I told her about what happened and she said she thought I was either dreaming. I 100% was not, or I was trying to scare her. We went back to bed and it took a while, but I eventually fell back asleep. I woke up late the next morning due to the poor night's sleep, and my girlfriend was already up and out of the room. I was laying in the bed thinking about the events of the night before when I heard clear as day a female voice say, "Call me Dan," which is my first name. I thought it was my girlfriend talking to me, so I replied, but received no answer. I got up and went out into the hallway, but no one was there. I went upstairs and found my girlfriend out on the balcony with most of the friends we were staying with. I asked her if she called me, but she said she had been outside for at least the last 30 minutes. I told the group about what happened the night before and what had just happened with someone asking me to call them. One of the women staying with us looked suddenly scared and said, "Holy SD. The exact same thing happened to Brian this morning. He told me he heard me say, 'Call me Brian,' but I was already up here. I thought she might be messing with me, but Brian was out on a run, so she told me to go talk to him right when he came home and he will confirm." Brian came back from his run a few minutes later, and yes, I confirmed the story with him before he talked to anyone else in our group, and that was it. We left a day later and never returned to the rented beach house. We actually tried to see about renting it again a few years later, but it was no longer listed as a rental property.